I mean, I personally have never had any instance in my life because I was white that I was liked better or got off on anything better or didn't have to pay my taxes because I was white. Or
saying that's not the case, that there's more white people. I'm saying that there's been like a systemic effort to rid white people of power in our institutions.
Hey, Karen, let me educate you. White privilege has nothing to do with your financial situation, whether you have flourished in life or not. Were your grandparents hung from a tree? Were your great-grandparents put in somebody's will? Did your great-great-great-great-grandparents come over on a boat during the Middle Passage? Do people call you the N-word? Do people walk across the street at night based on what you look like? Were the history in schools whitewashed and taken away because you were worried about white people being offended by actual history? Have you ever had to give this speech to your kids? You probably don't know what that is. That's when black people have to tell their kids what's going to happen when white cops pull you over just for being black. Oh yeah, sure, probable cause. Has your house ever been redlined? Has your house been appraised at a different price? That is privilege. You ooze it out of every pore in your body. You are the typical snobby little white girl that lives in privilege. Why? Because of the second lady that spoke in that video. Why did she say that? Because she's afraid that her white privilege is going away. That's what this is really about. In this current climate, it is make America white again. These women, along with other women, and white people as a majority in this country, are afraid that when black people, minorities, immigrants, Muslims, Latinos, gay people, trans people, whoever it is, their version of Leave It to Beaver, traditional family values, is going away. They do not want to give up their privilege. That's all they know. Think about it. Going back to the Middle Passage, where 1.4 million African Americans died because white people were too damn lazy to do the jobs themselves, shackled the boats for up to 6 months because of the weather. That's the way it's always been. The white person has been at the top. Go look at videos, Karen. Go look at movies. The white people were always the heroes. And you know what we portray the black people as? Gangsters, gold teeth, gold necklaces. They're always running around, gunning people. That is what you buy into. And you don't want to admit it. In a previous video, that Karen was told about immigrants firsthand from one of these women that she was talking to on the panel. She told her how U.S. citizens, people that were legal, that had green cards, were being detained against their will for months. And you know what she said? Oh, well, that's too bad. She doesn't care. And that's why we're still here as a country. Because there's enough people like that, like her, in her white privilege, and she doesn't want to give it up. Now, to be fair, there's a lot of white people that recognize it, but they're unwilling to be uncomfortable and have these conversations, like I am. You'll protest every 4 months on a Saturday. Great job. Way to go. Go get your trophy. But you're not willing to post on social media, talk about it at your job. You're not willing to talk to your uncle or your cousin because you're worried about what he's going to say Christmas. Your silence is acceptance. I have somebody that I know like that. They have a friend that voted for this guy in the White House, the orange guy. You know why he won't talk to him? Because he doesn't want to jeopardize the friendship. I'm sorry. That's privilege. You have the privilege to only protest every 4 months. You have the privilege to ignore people that are being racially profiled. You have the privilege to ignore people that are in concentration camps. Because the reality is, 1,500 people on January 6th were found guilty in a court of law. Many pleaded guilty. Guess what happened? They were pardoned. But yet Colin Kaepernick is a son of a bitch simply for peacefully protesting. That's privilege. What happened with the racist podcaster, right? They sing songs for him. They put him on airplanes. They create a day of remembrance. But when Ahmaud Arbery, a black man's jogging down the street, what happens? 3 white guys hunt him down. And the police don't even arrest him right away until there's public outrage. Does he get a day of remembrance? See, that's privilege, right? Because people thought that he was a criminal just because a black man was jogging down the street. It's funny how that works, isn't it? But if you're a rapist and if you're a convicted felon and a pedophile, you get to be president. That's privilege. Which is why we're here. Because people like you were triggered by a black man in the White House instead of out in the fields picking your cotton, Karen. Now, if you'd like some more lessons, I'd be happy to give them to you. But spare me with your little hair flip and your perfect makeup and your little snobby attitude. I'm just a conservative. No, you're not. You want to maintain the white male patriarchy. And you can't imagine for 0.1 second what it must be like to be a non-white person. That's why we're here, Karen. It's your lack of empathy. All you care about is immigrants, immigrants, immigrants. You just want them here legally. It's funny how a brown person's here for 40 years and you're rejoicing ICE coming and grabbing them, but you vote for a white man who's a convicted felon. But hey, I'm sure that has nothing to do with privilege. Have a white day, Karen.